It all began long ago, in a village nestled between rolling green hills. In the heart of this village stood the Alford Mansion, a sprawling estate belonging to the wealthy Alford family of 6. Their home became the center of every grand party and celebration, but despite the merriment, unease always lingered in the village. Just beyond the mansion lay an old graveyard, watched over by a silent tree, known as Crow Trap Tree. This spooky black tree always had an eerie green glow emitting from the large hole in the center, and it was a rumor that spirits would fly past this tree every night, but no one believed it. Not far from the graveyard stood a towering, crooked stone castle. No villager dared walk by, for legends whispered that after midnight, the evil Dracula stalked its halls, and the Grim Reaper would claim the soul of any who strayed too close. Few believed the tales, at least until that night. Nearby lived Dr. Tingle, a brilliant but mad scientist who had spent years building a secret project in his lab. All he lacked was lightning, so when a storm finally rolled in, he rejoiced, but for the Alfords nearby, it was their doom. During the storm, their mansion was struck again and again, and the entire family perished that night. Legend says that the spirits still wander its halls to this day. Meanwhile, Dr. Tingle had succeeded. His creation lived, but horrified the village. The monster broke free and rampaged, destroying the village and slaughtering townsfolk. Survivors turned on Dr. Tingle, but before they could bring him down, Dracula himself emerged from the castle. The legends were true. Dracula dragged Tingle away, and with the help of the Grim Reaper, had him beheaded for endangering the town. The years that followed erased the village. Only ruins remained. The only houses that seemed to remain perfectly undamaged were the haunted Alford Mansion, Tingle's ruined laboratory, and Dracula's castle. Yet the stories endured of lightning striking twice over the lab. A mysterious figure on horseback, with a pumpkin for a head from the nearby abandoned pumpkin patch, riding past the laboratory every night when the lightning strikes twice. But our story is far from over. Though the village was in ruins, Dracula still watched over the 3 remaining buildings in the village, including his own castle. Legend says that one night, Dracula popped out of the trapdoors onto the top of the castle to see an eerie green glow coming from the mausoleum in the graveyard. Curious, Dracula transformed into a bat and decided to sneak his way into the mausoleum. When he made it into the mausoleum, he found 3 old witches brewing a glowing green potion. Enraged, he declared all witches enemy of the castle. And this began the witch hunt era. Any witch caught near the village was executed. One tried to escape on an old broom from the castle, but was captured, chained atop the tower, and remains there to this day. However, some surviving witches had managed to escape Dracula's castle and fled far away from the village. There they built their own citadel, the towering Witch's Tower, far beyond the ruined village. Inspired by Dr. Tingle's work, they dug up corpses from the graveyard and built thousands of monsters using the same method he had. Together, the witches and monsters founded a thriving settlement known as Spookytown, the eeriest village ever imagined. In Spookytown, zombies ran a hotel, ghouls built Black Raven Manor, and the undead hosted concerts by their band, the Symphony of Screams. A massive clock tower ticked overhead. though cursed cuckoos sometimes screeched from its gears. Even the graveyard was repurposed, not to mourn the dead, but to party among them. Beside it stretched Eerie Lagoon, shrouded in the dark shadow of a creepy cave that sometimes emitted smoke if it decided it wanted to work. For a time, Spookytown flourished, until Dracula got word. He unleashed the Grim Reaper army, but the witches had grown strong. They fought back, cursing many of the Reapers into becoming part of the haunted clock tower. Many Reapers were brainwashed by witches' magic. These Reapers worked at the horrid haunted hotel, terrorizing any guests. On a nearby plateau just below the village, zombies wondered what they could build. The answer came when the Headless Horseman himself, Dr. Tingle, rode into town. Grateful that the witches had preserved his legacy, he declared the plateau would become something extraordinary. Pumpkin Town. Since Tingle no longer had a head, he asked the witches to create a pumpkin man to rule it. Thus was born Jack, the man with the body of a human and the head of a jack-o'-lantern. Jack built Jack's pumpkin farm. Along with a huge barn he had painted eerie blue. He had topped the silo with a spinning jack-o'-lantern. Along with the farm and the barn, he also built a merry-go-round for monstrous children, a pub called the Ghoulish Gourd, and he even made a pumpkin-shaped treehouse. At first, Pumpkin Town thrived, but when Jack asked the witches to help his crops grow faster, they accidentally unleashed a curse. Pumpkins sprouted wildly, overtaking the town. The merry-go-round became sentient, turning into the eerie-go-round. The treehouse tried to devour visitors. Giant pumpkins overtook the Ghoulish Gourd, turning the drinks slightly rancid. And the giant blue barn was transformed into the Mad Pumpkin Patch, where the pumpkins may pick you. But the curse wasn't done. It started to spread up the hill until it reached Eerie Lagoon, where it transformed the big towering cave into a jack-o'-lantern, transforming Eerie Lagoon into the Isle of the Creepy Jacks. After Dracula got word that the Grim Reapers had failed to take Spookytown, he was livid. He declared all his Grim Reapers useless and cast them away. Later, the Grim Reapers founded the Reaper Motorcycle Company, because apparently Reapers like to ride. But if you want to buy a bike, it'll cost you your soul. Since the Grim Reapers were now against Dracula, they didn't really want to harm any witches. One Grim Reaper rode past a witch selling apple cider, but didn't think much of it, and kept riding. To this day, Dracula still haunts his castle, with one still remaining loyal Grim Reaper. The Alfreds still haunt their mansion. Dr. Tingle is still said to ride past his laboratory whenever the lightning strikes twice, and Spookytown and Pumpkin Town still thrive to this day. The end.